A sense of confidence is nothing but a sense of power within yourself, a sense of certainty that you can pull something off. And you can create that feeling literally in a moment. It's not.
Hello, friends.
I'm back. That is the most beautiful thing I've ever heard.
I want some more. Daddy's got this.
This will be fun.
Let's get through!
And that is why the man bun is just a millennial mullet.
Deadpool 2, rated R. Experience it in IMAX May 18.
Welcome to Brickwall Cinema, everyone. And today we're talking about Deadpool 2. Sergio, how are you familiar with Deadpool 2?
I'm not as familiar as with the first one, mostly because I've only seen it a few other times.
I was so ready for this movie. I knew it was coming out a long time ago before they showed any trailers for it, because I like to keep up with the news a lot. So I was looking up at the production news for it, and I remember once Logan came out, they released a teaser called No Good Deed, like a little short. Did you ever see that one, Sergio?
No.
Really? Okay, well, we'll be right back. I'm gonna show them the trailer real quick.
I've worked too hard in this life to let someone.
Oh, you want to end up dead?
Oh no, please don't hurt me.
Are you fucking kidding me?
No.
Not on my watch, motherfucker.
Are you hearing me? Give me the wall. Can you hear me? Help!
Oh, Jesus. Oh, that's not good. No, no, no. Oh, you're not going to walk that one off. I'm so sorry.
So yeah, that was our first introduction to Deadpool 2. And I found out that Sergio hasn't seen Logan, so that's definitely stay tuned. Let's go to first impressions then. You first.
Yeah, okay. I honestly really enjoyed this movie. It was surprisingly much more existential than I thought it would be.
Really?
When I first saw the trailer, I thought, okay, this is a sequel. This is awesome. I'm wondering what they're gonna do with it because I wasn't sure where else they could go until they kind of threw a curveball when I first saw the movie, as they peeled off Vanessa, and I was shocked by that, and I really did like seeing this whole sequence of Deadpool kind of going through this whole montage of trying to kill himself, then meeting with this kid who kind of gives him a new reason to stay alive.
Yeah, so I'm just gonna flat out say it. I didn't like this one as much as I did the first one. I respect it in another way. I like it, but for alternative reasons. I like you said, how it's more existential. I like how it's more dark than the first one, because we sort of need to do that with a sequel. Even with some of my favorite sequels bring up more darker tones in the second movie, which I love. Terminator 2, Back to the Future 2, just to name a few. And I'm not trying to rhyme either. And this one, it's not as funny in my opinion as the first one, but it is as its own movie. The action is more. I like the action more in this one than I did the first one. I'll easily say that. That probably might be because of the director, David Leitch. We already talked about him a lot on this channel. We talked about him with our Nobody review and for the Fall Guy review. So we know he's really good with action, and you can definitely tell it's his signature action in this movie, where someone is limited to the things they have around them to just beat the crap out of someone next to them.
They use a lot of practical effects in this.
Yeah, and even the stuff that seem more CGI, like the Juggernaut or Colossus, they look better in this one. And it might be due to the budget being an actual superhero budget. It's double the budget for the first one. So, I mean, all the money is on screen, and you can definitely tell. It felt weird watching it the first time watching it.
Who's the kid's name again? The one with the fire hands?
Julian Dennison.
Oh, okay.
But his character's name is Russell.
Russell. Oh, yeah, right. I wonder if he's an actual character in the comics, because I don't remember seeing anything like that.
He is. He doesn't look like how he looked in the movie.
He kind of reminds me of Sunspot.
His name is Fire Fist.
I'm curious about this character. Do you think he'll come back in the movies, or is he just going to be around, or is he just going to be kind of like in the background?
I think he'll just be in the background. Because remember in Deadpool,
What would you say?
Because I remember in the trailer for Deadpool Wolverine, it looks like he's gonna be taken out of his home early in the movie, and so we won't see a lot of those characters except for like one scene or one area.
It really sucks because I would actually like to see more of the character and see like what he does or what he's chosen to do with his life nowadays. Because Deadpool in this movie, he actually goes back and changes a lot of things with time travel, which is why in the new movie he's going to be encountered by the TVA. So I am curious to think, what are the other characters gonna do while Deadpool is off doing his own adventures? I think that would be interesting to explore.
You'll think so, but I can already tell that there's a lot of people that are not going to want to see that. They're like, why are we stopping the movie for these side characters doing something that's not really essential to the part of the
No, that's not the movie. I'm not talking about in the movie. I'm thinking like getting something else that we could show to see what they do whenever Deadpool's not around. Because Iron Fist or Russell, he's a kind of a reformed kid who been through a lot. So now I'm questioning, what is he gonna do now? Because I know he doesn't just stay with Deadpool and Vanessa all the time. Colossus and Megasonic Teenage Warhead and Yukio, their relationship, I would really like to see what else they do. Because, well, Colossus actually is a really cool character that everyone has given like support to. But
Colossus feels like
it's hard to not. What was that?
I'll say Colossus is basically like the Cyclops of the Deadpool movies.
The Cyclops?
Yeah, he's like the Boy Scout that everyone makes fun of him for being.
Well, true, but that's how Colossus always is.
Not always, but I get you.
Yes, that's how he is.
No, not always.
Too. In the cartoon, he acts the same way.
Not in the comics.
How does he act in the comics?
You know what? Never mind. Anyway, let's go with our favorite scenes. So that what's your favorite scene, Sergio?
I don't know. My favorite scene, I would think either the bathhouse fight or the fight with hang on. The bathhouse fight where he fights all those people in the bathhouse. The first fight he has with Cable, because that was funny, and the third one is when him and Cable fight off those people from that asylum, the daycare thing where Russell was.
Stop taking my favorite scene, man. I love my favorite scene was I have three favorite scenes. My favorite scene in the beginning with the bathhouse scene, like him just going around different areas and across, like going global with his mercenary skills. And
you mean his montage?
Yeah, the montage, the 9 to 5 sequence, and the conversation that they had at the apartment with Blind Owl, Weasel, and Cable and Domino. Him with the baby legs, that whole scene, and the X-Force scene. All of X-Force jumping out of the plane. That's one of my favorite scenes.
I wonder, is X-Force an actual thing?
Yes.
Or is this something they just made up for this movie?
It's an actual thing. They have a couple comics.
Oh, okay. Do they have the same characters as in this movie, or is it just random characters?
Random characters.
Oh, okay.
But they do have Deadpool in them. And I think, if my knowledge is correct, when he is in X-Force, he has the black and white Deadpool outfit. They make a reference to that later in the movie with him getting burnt up. Do you want to go on our notes, Sergio?
That's what the whole point of this was. That's why I thought we were going to go next.
Yeah, we are going next. That is what's next. So, which version of the movie did you watch, Sergio? Because there's three different versions.
There's three?
Yeah.
I know there's the PG-13 one, and then there's the rated R one. Is there a different one?
The unrated super duper cut.
Oh, I don't think I saw that. I saw the rated R version.
I watched all three of them to get ready for this review.
Oh, okay.
And my favorite one is the original rated R one, the theatrical cut. The second one, I mean, because the super duper cut takes out jokes I thought were funny from the first one and replace them with some that are not as funny. And the PG-13 one, it's not really. I saw that one in theaters. Maybe I'm more sour because I paid money to see it in theaters.
I mean, that was the whole point why they said it. Deadpool himself says it in the movie. He says that they just did it for the money.
Well, yeah, but it's one thing to say it and actually do it, and then trick a 15-year-old to go watch it.
They didn't really trick anybody.
They tricked me, damn it. Okay, so
they said in the trailer that it's just for money. There's nothing really different about it besides the fact they dumbed it down, the dirty jokes and all the violence, so that kids could watch it with their family.
Yeah, but some of the jokes that were in the Once Upon a Deadpool were in the super duper cut. So they edited. They have a version that has both the scenes from the first one and second one. I mean, and from the idea of Once Upon a Deadpool, I know it's just to make money, but it doesn't make sense logistically because the people who saw the first one, I mean, the people that they're targeting this towards, like kids or stuff like that, they can't see. They're not gonna understand what's going on because they didn't get to see the first one because there's no PG-13 version of the first one. Make a sequel to a big movie or age that's for younger audiences, but the audiences aren't gonna understand what's going on because they didn't see the first movie. That's stupid.
Usually they don't really care what happens in the first movie. When a kid sees this movie, they only care about the action. They don't know about the story.
I care.
Yes, but you were older.
I was 15.
Yes, and this was PG-13.
It reminds me of when back in the 80s and 90s, when they made like sequels to big movies, they'll make them PG-13 if they originally are, just to get a bigger audience. But back then it already made sense because they're stories that are easy to understand. RoboCop 3, let's make that PG-13. Doesn't matter, it's about a robot that's a cop that lives in Detroit. That's all you need to know. I don't know, that's just a personal nitpick for me, but I digress. With this movie, I only have like a couple of notes. So Sergio, how did you feel about the baby leg scene?
It fits the character. I find it funny.
I could. It's weird. When I saw the movie, when I saw him starting to walk, I could hear you laughing so hard. Them just trying to walk towards Cable. Okay. God, this is going nowhere. I don't really have much to say about Deadpool 2.
Well, I'm kind of confused on what it is you want me to react.
I don't know, why picture Deadpool walking. When I see Deadpool walking with baby legs, I can already hear you laughing your ass off like you just saw it in theater. Like I picture that because I know how you act into stupid shit like that.
Uh-huh.
I hate when you fucking do that, man.
I mean, I'm not sure really what to say because I just said that I found it funny.
Yeah, but you always want to say, I thought this was funny. I thought you'd do this. Okay.
Well, yeah, because you already did that for me.
Okay, so also speaking of that scene, did you notice what shirt Wade was wearing?
No.
It was a flower Hawaiian shirt. But
is that referencing something?
Yes. Are you familiar with the movie called Goonies?
Yes.
Are you familiar with Chunk?
The big kid, right?
Yes. You notice the shirt that he's wearing?
Yeah, it's the same shirt, is it?
Yeah.
Is it a reference to something?
I think that is the reference.
That is just referencing Goonies?
Yeah. Because Josh Brolin because Josh Brolin was in Goonies.
Which one's Josh Brolin?
He was the older brother.
No, who in Deadpool 2 is Josh Brolin?
Cable.
Oh, okay. That's
yeah.
Interesting.
And even they make a joke about that too when he was fighting on the truck. He was saying, "Bring it on, One-Eyed Willie." That was
Deadpool said that.
Yeah, Yeah, he was talking to Cable when he said it.
Who's One-Eyed? Oh, right, the pirate, right?
Jeez, yes. I can hear the wheels turning in your head.
Put a wheel like gears clinking sound effect.
If I'm good enough, I'll do that. But if not, I'm just gonna put a failure sound effect in.
No, I know what you're gonna do. You're just gonna put the voice saying that he never did.
Probably.
What else did you want to talk about in the movie?
Do you have any notes for the movie?
Not specifically. Other than
anything, man. Go ahead.
Let me think. I did think about one thing. It did give a certain adaptation of Death's relationship with Deadpool.
What do you mean? Expand.
In the comics, Death is an actual person, and Deadpool has a relationship with her.
Right, so does Thanos.
Yes. In this one, they didn't do that. Instead, it was just Vanessa being a representation of Death and how he can no longer interact with it.
Well, it makes sense because why would we introduce a new character if we can just kill someone off and expand on their character and then bring it back up? Because if we...
No, I know. I'm saying that in the first movie, they did something different with Deadpool, where they didn't actually have him be in a sort of a concentration camp sort of thing, and then made the Deadpool a part of that camp because they were debating on whether or not someone would survive the experiments. They made him a mercenary who was in part of a sort of mercenary guild. They were betting who would die because the mercenaries are always on death's door. But they made it so that his girlfriend, who was in the comics, was an actual person instead of someone who's just a one-off. And they made him have a relationship with her throughout his career instead of it just being a personification of death. And so they played with that by having her die and then having her be a representation of how Death was in the comics, because Deadpool and Death are in a relationship and they cannot be together because Deadpool can never die.
No, it's a love affair.
Yeah. Also, is she playing with an arc reactor or something?
Are you talking about the post-credit scene?
Yeah, this one. Because she's tinkering with that. What is it? Is it?
That was.
Looks like a Iron Man.
That was Cable's time travel device.
Oh, okay. I was going to say it looked a lot like Tony Stark's spark.
Yeah, because remember he was saying that he only had 2 sparks to go back home and like here and go back.
Oh, yeah.
So you'll just make it to where you can have unlimited time stuff because that's just lazy writing. That brings up another thing I want to bring up with this movie. Nothing fucking matters in this movie. You let me explain?
Like, what do you mean when nothing matters?
Well, by that I mean nothing's really impactful in this movie because all the characters that we already knew from the first movie are back in the second one. I mean, back in the third one, except the only person that returns that was in the second one was Paul, because at the beginning of the movie, Vanessa dies, but then next, we got Cable there, but he doesn't come back in the sequel. We don't see him in any of the trailers. Are you confused?
No.
Wait, you're not confused, or it doesn't make any sense? What do you mean?
No, I get it. It's like one big plot hole.
Yeah. I mean, I still love the movie and all, but it kind of is like a, what's the word when it's close to me, but I can't really, it's untangible, not really intangible, but more like, I can't really grab onto it if I know it's not gonna be important or like impactful anyway. Where it's like, yeah, it's fun and everything. It's like a side quest in a way, or a DLC. Where yeah, it's fun to add this on there, but it doesn't really impact the story in any way. And I don't think it's gonna be impactful for any of the sequels because none of the people are gonna be in the sequel.
I think that's kind of the whole thing. The whole story does unfold as it is, and Deadpool does go back and try to make everything as happy as possible. But that's why the TVA comes after him.
Okay, so
and the thing is that Deadpool was, I believe that there was actually a theory about this. I saw over on Film Theory that Deadpool is the reason the TVA went back in time because, well, they did go back in time because he didn't mess with time, but they also are taking him because he can break the fourth wall, which means that he can alter the story in directions not seen. He's like a wild card they can play.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that was mainly it. Do you want to go with the rating?
Yeah, let's go over it.
All right. I'm kind of torn on this one, man. I was deciding whether to do 3.5 stars or 4 stars, but then I decided to give it 4 stars because I do love the action. That action gives it a plus for me. What about you?
To me, I'm kind of debating, but I probably would also give it a 4. I'm not 100% on board on that, but I'm gonna get that for now because I did love a bunch of stuff about it. Humor was a bit all over the place, even though it still held the same tone. But I did enjoy this movie almost as much as I did the first one.
Right, same here.
Anyway, so are we gonna end it here?
Yeah, I think that we call it an episode. I'm Chance.
I'm Sergio.
Have a cinematic day.